Hi, yeah, Frankenfoot here. Time for more attacks. Unlike other videos, I'm going to start doing one attack per video, just so I can make things more clear, just in case I do different tactics or different bases, and then maybe we can actually see what the darn base looks like. But let's go. Find the first attack. Yeah, so this clan was named the Booze Hounds, so I'm really glad we beat them, because I'd feel pretty crappy if we lost to a bunch of Booze Hounds. But anyway, here's the base, and I have no idea what Mr. Shalty Knowles was thinking when he started doing upgrades, because he has maxed out his xbows, and he is working on maxing out his Barbarian King, of all interesting things, and he's working on his walls, and everything else is pretty low level. So that's pretty perplexing. But you take a look at this base, you'll realize, well, look at that. I've seen that base before. I've attacked almost this exact same base before. And so good news for me, I've done it once. I kind of know what to expect, and I know what all the crazy things that went wrong the last time were. The last time I attacked this base, I tried a Go Weave a Hobo, and what I did was drop a golem here, just out of reach of that clan castle, and drop bowlers and let them walk over the way here. Dropped another golem over here, or something to get the lure, and so on and so forth. But that's not what I like to do today. Today I'm trying HPHB, healer, Pekka, hogs, bowlers. That's kind of the big sexy thing that's going on right now, but that's not why I'm doing that. I'm doing that because this is sort of a spread-ish base. And Pekkas have always been good at spread-ish bases, even before the meta update. I've seen people go wipe a spread base and knock it out. I actually employed a war spread base. It was designed to be anti-Valk, anti-Queen Walk, but they would just go wipe it and they'd rip it to shreds, and it was very frustrating to watch that happen. So Pekkas can be quite deadly in this scenario. And the other thing is, last time I attacked a base like this, there's a Tesla farm up here next to the town hall, but there is not enough space for that right here. So don't expect that there. My gut inclination was I bet that they're centered somewhere in here, because I have seen people do that. You put a Tesla on each side of one of these squares here, and so in theory something comes up to it, and it takes forever to beat through the wall to get to all the other Teslas. If it's a Valk, or if it's a Pekkas or something like that that can't shoot over the wall. So I've seen that a few times. And so this base is interesting because he has spread out objectives pretty well. Queen and Clan Castle over here, so you'd like to attack from this side, but the town hall's on the complete opposite side of the base. We'll just ignore that because we're going 3-star or bust, because that's the way we roll. And you've also got your king over here, who's pretty far removed from the queen. So that's not good, because the king has ruined many a hog attack for me. Alright, so I'm going HPHB here, and here's how I'm doing this. As I recall, you notice I don't have any baby dragons to funnel here. So, how did I start? Gee whiz, I don't even remember. But I started probably with Pekkas, and then dropped some Pekkas here, and then wizards here to knock these buildings out. And once that building's gone, the Pekkas are going to move in this direction. And I'm going to have healers behind them, and as long as the Pekkas keep moving in this direction, there's not a whole lot that can do damage to them. And I decided to try a little experiment that turned out it failed. As I dropped the Pekkas, I was going to drop bowlers. And as the Pekkas move in this direction, they're going to do a lot of tanking. They're going to tank for this archer tower for quite a while. They'll tank for this wizard tower for quite a while too. And if the bowlers are behind them, they'll probably take out that wizard tower before it has an issue. The one thing that scared me, that turned out to be the undoing of this, was this darn X-bow here. Because once the Pekkas move out of this range, they're not going to tank for the bowlers anymore. And I believe, I haven't watched the replay in a while, but I believe that turned out to be the end of the doing of the bowlers. Now, had you, instead of dropping a Pekka, dropped a golem, it would have come up here and it would have stayed beating up on this wall for some lengthy period of time, and the bowlers would have had a free range to go nuts. But that's not what we're doing. We're doing HPHB, so healers and Pekkas. That's our tank, by goodness. So you'll notice healers are susceptible to air defenses, and his air defenses are kind of out in the boonies here. You got one there, one there, one there. So other than this guy, you've got lots of area where your Pekkas can run into and not really have to worry about the healers getting hammered by an air defense. But you do have this one guy right here. And so in order to take care of him, I was going to drop a giant in here, and he's going to take the heat from these guys. Ultimately, we'll take heat from the Archer Queen too. And so I'm going to drop a giant, and I'm very quickly going to drop 2 wizards to try to take out these buildings, and 1 hog on that air defense. And I'm going to try to time that precisely. As soon as this clan castle gets lured, I'm going to try to take care of all that very quickly, such that this air defense is gone before the healers make it all the way over here. So about as soon as the Pekkas walk into this area, that's when I'm going to take care of that. Now, the mistake I made last time was thinking I could get wall breakers to come in here and take care of this stuff, but that turned out not to be the case. So what I'm relying on here is the fact that there's going to be no buildings left here. These will be gone. The Pekkas and I think the king have destroyed everything up to here. So eventually they're going to turn around and start beating on a wall here. And as long as they're beating on a wall somewhere in this direction, the queen's going to come and shoot at them, and then they'll want to go into the interior of the base because she's too far away to jump over that wall. So I'll drop a rage here. Pekkas will come in, start tearing stuff up. Healers will be raged and will heal them up really, really well. And then I'll probably drop a second rage whenever they start beating on that wall. Because last time I attacked this base, I elected to bring a jump spell, and that turned out to be not such a good thing. So instead I'm bringing a rage spell, and it'll have almost the same effect as a jump spell. If, say, you drop your rage somewhere in this region here, what could happen is you could have Pekka starting to beat up on the outside of the wall trying to go for this storage or these storages, and you don't want that. You don't want them to leave. So if you drop a rage somewhere on the interior here, the Pekkas that are beating up on the interior of the wall, they're going to be the first one to break through. And then once they break through, the Pekkas will likely redirect and find ways to get to all these other buildings here. So that's why I'm bringing a rage instead of a jump. And then you have the added benefit of everything's raged in it, and the healers are behind it, and they're going to get raged too and heal everything up. Heroes, if you're doing good, will be there too. And eventually they'll want to make their way to this king. As soon as they enter this area at all, the Pekkas will take out the king. And then we've got hogs to trickle in whenever we need them. Okay, so that's the plan. Nothing else really important to say. I think this side I decided to come in on. You could maybe decide to come in to attack from any other direction. But you've got a big compartment here to bust into. You've got air defenses far away, except for one that we think we can take out pretty easy. So for HPHB, this seemed like a good path to take. So watching the replay. These wizards. Yes, if you look at this, the wizards are out of range of anything that can get to them. So I can knock off these 2 buildings for free, which this is only 8 clan castle space versus 10 for a baby dragon. And it's also less susceptible to traps, because if you hit a giant bomb or something, you can just drop another wizard behind it. If a baby dragon hits a seeking air mine, it's done. You're dunskies. Look at that little wizard. Good, I'm taking all this out. God bless these wizards. So once these buildings were gone, in comes the king. I dropped the king first because I want him to start taking damage over the Pekkas, because he's got his ability. He can regenerate health. But we've got the Pekkas, we've got the king, we've got healers on him. And I decided to send in the bowlers, thinking they were going to go there, but that was foolish of me. And eventually, just as I predicted, everything walks out of range of this expo. And I'm also a little bit late. I've got the clan castle lure. And another strange decision this guy made. He has an adult dragon and a baby dragon, which negates the special ability of the baby dragon to be raged. So Mr. Shouty Knowles of Booze Hounds, I don't know what you're thinking, but anyway, thank you for thinking it, because it worked in my favor. But eventually, my bowler experiment was a failure. I dropped the queen in to help with the clan castle troops. Make short work of them. Not a whole lot to worry about. Here comes the giant with the hog taking care of all that stuff. And thankfully everything walks into the range of the queen. They try to bust through the wall. Down comes the rage. Queen goes out in one mighty blow of the Pekka swing. And we've got healers keeping everything healed up. Second rage should come down somewhere around here. Soon, hopefully. There it is. And they bust through that wall. Everything decides to go along this direction. Ultimately takes out the king. Now, I was hoping that they would go in this direction here and bust into one of these compartments, but I did not have any such luck. They went to the outside to get to the king, which means that their next stop is going to be leaving the core of the base, which means that now I've got to worry about getting the hogs to take care of all this stuff. I haven't seen any Tesla farm yet, so I'm not sure exactly what to expect. But you've got a nice-ish outside of the ring for the hogs, as long as they don't try to redirect to these xbows. It might work out well. King falls. Healer's keeping everything up. Healer's doing a good job keeping everything up. Drop the hogs in on the air defense to keep my healers alive. Trickle more in, and now the Tesla farm reveals itself. And my hogs just didn't do a whole lot for me in this raid. In hindsight, I think what I was trying to do is I had so much base left, I should have dropped all the hogs at once, but there's just too many traps. Hogs are too susceptible to traps. I probably should have held on to them for a little bit longer and just dropped them as all my Pekkas and everything were tanking. Because look at this. Look at all the heroes and stuff I had. I have 3 Pekkas up, a healer still following them, king up, 2 wizards in the bank. I decided to drop them here to help them just get through this faster. Because the problem I'm looking at now is I'm kind of running out of time. Valks are super fast at wiping stuff out. And Pekkas are super durable, we'll say. But it takes them a while to get through a base. They stand at something really long, and then they smack it and smack the tar out of it. But it takes them a while, and they're not very fast. So the only thing I'm worried about is time. But I got everything healed up. I got plenty of health. That healer's keeping things going. It finally got knocked out. I popped the king ability to get in there. Unfortunately, a giant bomb wipes out my wizards, but I've got just enough time with the king, with the Pekkas, to break through that wall. And look how durable these darn Pekkas are. Even though they don't do extra damage, I should say, to the Pekkas, Teslas are still pretty mighty defense. But these Pekkas are just sitting there. Again, they're getting lightning bolts up their butt. They don't care. And there you go. There's a 3-star. Not a super high level base. And the bowler thing didn't quite work out like I'd hoped, so yeah, for future reference, not a good idea. That's not going to work. If you're going to do HPHB, you've got to bust in with bowlers behind him. You can't drop the bowlers too early, but you can't drop them too late or they have nothing to lure them in. So that's the first attack. Stay tuned for the second video for the next one.